Before you click away, I must ask you this. What type of music is the essence of Batman? Because every great superhero has a theme that underscores their journey. And in the case of Batman, many legendary composers use the power of music to give the Dark Knight tunes and melodies Gotham deserves.
Well, here I am.
When I worked on movies for Disney, Marvel and others, I was in the middle of the superhero world. But since then, I've been composing music for true crime podcasts. And I wanted to look at the Dark Knight, which in my view has elements of all of the above. The hero element, but also the darkness of a thriller. The DC Comics character Batman has evolved in various forms of media, merchandise, television, radio, video games and feature films. There has been 9 theatrical action Batman movies and numerous spin-offs and crossovers. The 1966 film Batman the Movie featuring Adam West is notably recognized for its campy and goofy portrayal of the character. It's fun, but in this video I will concentrate on the musical style of Batman, beginning with Tim Burton's 1989 Batman and continuing through Matt Reeves' The Batman from 2022. Although the scoring approach to Batman movies has evolved throughout the franchise, the foundational musical style established by composer Danny Elfman for the 1989 Batman film lives on. Now, Elfman explains that in contrast to previous hero scores such as Star Wars and Superman, which featured grand orchestral arrangements with a militaristic feel, he focused on the troubled hero's dark side. As a result, the main title, the Batman theme, was composed in minor key with low-pitched melodies and textures and accentuated with chromatism. It is not to say that Elfman changed the approach to hero scores completely. The theme still has a militaristic percussion rhythm that reminds the audience of the classic hero scores. Now, he continued his approach in The Batman Returns, which premiered on June 19, 1992. The Batman franchise changed with the 1995 film Batman Forever.
I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
Directed by Joel Schumacher. Warner Brothers aimed to render the tone of the Batman films lighter and more mainstream, leading to a shift in the composer to Elliot Goldenthal, and a change in the scoring approach. The music for Batman Forever adopted a chaotic electroacoustic score featuring thematic variations, melodies and harmonies. The focus on the trauma and the hero's dark side was reduced. Main titles and fanfare is an example of a new direction. Then Batman and Robin was the final entry in the franchise that played into this family-friendly format. Elliot Goldenthal scored the film again, incorporating themes from the Batman Forever. The audience, however, disapproved of the franchise's direction, and following disappointing box office revenues and negative reviews, the hero awaited another opportunity. In Batman Begins, the director Christopher Nolan steered the franchise back towards the hero's dark side, humanity and realism. 2 composers, Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard, were commissioned to score the film. The music was criticized for the lack of recognizable superhero theme. Nevertheless, the revamped franchise established a new style of superhero movies. The Dark Knight in 2008 was scored again by Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard. However, Howard did not return for the 3rd installment, The Dark Knight Rises, in 2012. The musical style delved into the character's intricacies, employing unsettling sounds to convey the darkness of Batman. The composers avoided grandiose hero themes, with Howard remarking that when you write a traditional, conventional superhero theme, it gives you so much information that it might be misleading about the character. Instead, they portray the dark and unforgiving world inhabited by heroes and villains. In 2022, the franchise was rebooted with The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves and scored by Michael Giacchino. Reeves' film maintains the dramatic tone of Nolan's while centering on Batman's early career. In addition, the movie depicts the hero attempting to solve a murder in a noir-driven narrative style. In The Batman, Giacchino develops themes for the hero and the villain. The theme is not a grand orchestral motif reminding us of Marvel movies. Instead, it's slow and reflective of Batman's new role. Giacchino's score is more melodic than the music from the Dark Knight trilogy, but more restrained than Elfman Goldenhall compositions. It asks the question, is Batman our savior or is he a villain? Although Giacchino's Batman may not be as unsettled as Zimmer's, it occupies a similar sonic landscape, characterized by its slow, dark nature and lack of clear direction. The Batman became one of the year's highest-grossing films, amassing more than $770 million globally. Batman represents an anomaly. He's a complex at times, a contradictory character embodying both a traumatized human and a troubled hero. The musical style emphasizes Batman's human aspect and, in more recent entries, the complexity of the villains. The composition style has evolved through the series. Elfman and Goldenhall crafted their scores around the central theme, while Zimmer and Howard focused on the film's atmosphere and subtlety. In the latest installment, Giacchino fuses the previous scoring styles. He examines a younger Batman who remains uncertain of his place in the world. Each reboot of Batman introduces new ideas and approaches to composition that diverges from the typical superhero found in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And given the success of Batman, we can anticipate that the narrative and the music will continue in the direction of darker, more realistic films.